Hello and welcome. You are tuning in to the Striven You Show, brought to you by StrivenLife.com. I am your host, Nick Rizzo, and I am a success addict. Now, what does that mean? Well, at a certain point in my life, I gave up on letting the world dictate my life and started to commit to myself, commit to success, from self-improvement to relationships to health, wellness, business, and beyond. Growth, improvement, and success are all at your fingertips, and it's time to take back control, to live a life where you're driven to consistently strive for success in all aspects of life every day to build a better you, a better life, a striven life. And on this show, I will take you on that journey with me where success is not only the goal, but my duty and obligation. What's going on, guys? Today is episode number 5. All right, the one rule to help maximize your one life. So, what we're talking about today is just this one simple thing, this one mindset shift, this one rule that we can use to start changing the way we go about our lives, about the goals we have, about what we think we're capable of achieving, and who we can be, right? So, what if there was this one rule that if you applied it to your life, you would start to achieve exponentially greater success, right? You start to optimize your life and start to live a life that you didn't think was within your capabilities. Or maybe you didn't think you were achieving of these goals, right? And I know it sounds gimmicky, but it's the truth. I know so many people who have been applying this rule to their life and living by it. And I've been able to see and watch them grow exponentially, hit goals they didn't think was possible for themselves, and succeed in the things that they're truly passionate about. And I hope that today I can convince you of that as well, so you can start applying it to your life and maximizing the one life that you have. Now, what is the rule? So, the rule is that you 10x whatever goals you have, and you 10x the actions you take to achieve those goals. It sounds simple, and it also sounds a little daunting to some people. But all it is a matter of is, if you write down your goals and you then take it and then make it 10 times larger. And I'll explain to you why it works. If you take the average person, right, and the average person sets average goals, takes average amounts of actions, achieves average amounts of success, and has an average life, right? The reason why they're in that average stage is because they're not doing anything that's above average to stand out. They're not doing anything that is pushing the envelope a little bit, pushing the boundaries of what they think they're capable of achieving. And so, when you start to, and I don't hold anything against people who do these things, but for me personally, I'm dedicating myself and my life to being and living the most amount of what I'm possible of being. So whether that be in business, trying to raise my business to the levels that I really didn't think was possible, and that's what I'm working every day for. And we're talking about in personal life, 10xing the things that I'm doing to achieve greater health. In health, we're talking about emotional, mental, and physical. Taking 10x the actions in regards to how I interact in the relationship, for example, with my wife. Trying to be more engaged and to be more overall. Now, I wouldn't be telling you this if it isn't something that I haven't already started doing, right? I don't like to prescribe stuff that I'm just taking from other people and throwing it at you. So for myself, I've seen the benefits of this, right? It's pretty intense. So, for example, in my business, my initial goal that I set about 2 or 3 months ago was to have my first paid coaching client by the end of December 2017. Now in coaching, I do both self-development / kind of life coaching, and in business, I help entrepreneurs build momentum in their businesses. So my initial goal when I first started was to have my first paid client by the end of December. And I took a step back, and after a couple of days, I looked at that and I said, is that all I can do? Is that all I'm capable of? And I said, what if I 10x'd, I used this one rule to 10x my goals and 10x my actions, and I applied it to it. And I said, and my next goal was now, I want to make $10,000 by the end of 2017 through paid coaching clients in order to replace the income I previously had from my 9-to-5 job of teaching. Right? That goal is obviously a lot higher. It's a bigger expectation. It's going to take a little bit more to get there. But it doesn't necessarily mean you need to spend 10 times the amount of time. What it means is that you need to take a little bit extra effort, a little bit extra time at the beginning, a little bit extra planning and creativity in order to decide and figure out what are the actions that are going to actually get me to this goal, instead of the goal that I originally had of only having one client, right? So it didn't end up being more time or something that was more exhausting to do or accomplish. It ended up being that I had to say, what is the one thing I can do today that's going to get me to this goal of having made $10,000 by the end of the year? And what is the next thing I can do the following day, and the next day, and the next day? What are the things I'm going to do that are going to get me to this goal? And when you take the time to set that higher expectation of a goal, and you take the time to say, how am I going to get there? It all starts to become a little bit more feasible. So the following morning, after I set that 10x goal of what I have for myself, I wrote down the goal that I had of the 10K by the end of 2017. And then I wrote down kind of milestone goals, right? Like, what am I going to have to achieve this month? What am I going to have to achieve in 3 weeks, in 2 weeks, in 1 week? And built that out all the way to the end of the year. And then I did a little bit of a visualization routine. So I do like deep breathing, and then I essentially kind of like meditating, but you're visualizing what it looks like and feels like in the experience of having achieved each goal on that list in order. And right after I finished that, I was like, wait, this is so easy, right? I can do this. I am more than capable of achieving this. And I know exactly how I'm going to go about doing it. And so then I went directly into putting the plan into place. The result? Well, as of today, I've had several coaching clients, and I have, I have others that I'm in the works of starting to come on with me. So I've already reached my original goal I had, right? I've already surpassed that because I pushed myself to do more. And I still have 3 months left to go until the end of the year. And so now I can see that 10x goal coming into vision at the end of the road. I'm getting there. I'm close, right? And it's just about staying consistent, staying on top of my actions, and staying on the plan that I set in place for myself in order to achieve that 10x goal. And again, it's not taking tons of more time. It's not wasting tons of more energy, and it isn't pulling me away from the things that I want to do in my day-to-day life. It's just that I'm only doing the actions that are going to reach me to that 10x goal. Now, the one thing I'll have to say is this. Ever since doing this, it has exponentially increased how I am in my business and how I am in my life. But the one issue that some people fall into, it's almost a trap. And I suggest you use this rule with your goals with caution. And by that I mean, it becomes very easy to set a 10x goal and then completely just only focus on this one thing and let the rest of our life, our responsibilities, our hobbies, our loved ones, our stimulus, and just let them fall to the side. And I've seen people do this, And what you have to realize is that if you set these big goals, focus on one at a time. Right? Take the actions you can take in a regular day to achieve it. But you can't sacrifice the rest of your life on a day-to-day basis in order to achieve these goals, because you're going to end up in a worse place than you had started. You can sacrifice other things. So for example, let's say your original goal was and we've all heard this goal when it comes to like New Year's resolutions or just regular conversations with colleagues or friends, that they want to start eating healthier. First of all, what the hell does that even mean? What does eating healthier look like? And why are you trying to do it? And what are you going to get out of it? Right? So what if instead someone set the goal of, I want to start living a lifestyle where the things that I eat on a daily basis help nourish my mind, my body, and help the things I'm eating on a daily basis help like nourish my mind and my body. They help provide me more energy throughout the day. They help me lose weight and stay physically fit, and help me build self-confidence in how I look. That is a much more specific goal, and it's a lot higher than just eating healthier. And again, all you have to do is to start off with, how am I going to do that? Right? So then you can just simply look at it and say, all right, well, what kind of diet is going to provide me these benefits that I really want so much? And how is this experience and these benefits going to help the rest of my life that's happening around just my diet? Right? Because now you're building a lifestyle. You're not just trying to lose 5 pounds for no reason. You're trying to live a healthier lifestyle. It is a bigger goal that you are more than capable of succeeding at. And so that's the thing. If that is the goal that you set, you can sacrifice some things, but don't sacrifice the rest of your life. So what you may have to sacrifice in that example is maybe alcohol, any sort of like those sweets or those snacks that you really just love to eat. And you need to kind of start replacing the food you typically eat on a day-to-day basis with the healthier options that align with your goals and the type of diet that you select for yourself. But you wouldn't go and say, I am never going to go out to eat with my friends, or I'm never going to eat at anyone else's place other than mine, because now you're eliminating the ability for your social life to still be there, and you're keeping yourself out from the people in your lives, and that's a sacrifice that's not worth making, right? So the thing is, you can start 10xing your life because you are worth it, right? You are capable. You should feel kind of pumped up when you say, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna 10x the goal that I have right now for myself. Maybe you wanted to start going to the gym a couple times a week. Maybe your goal was to lose 5 pounds. Maybe you wanted to start building a new habit like meditation or reading or whatever. Well, take that one goal that you have and 10x it. And then sit back and say, okay, what are the steps I'm going to have to take in order to achieve this goal? Right? And then start going on that journey. It's as simple as that. Identify the actions you have to take to achieve your 10x version of your goal, and then execute. And again, don't sacrifice the rest of the things in your life. Stay focused on the goal that you have, and then keep moving forward. And it's a surefire way for you to be able to start increasing success in your personal life, increasing success in a business if you have one, increasing success in relationships, in school, and so on. All right? I've done it for myself. I know tons of people that have also done it. And as long as you believe that you can do it, which is the biggest part, you have to realize that you are capable and you can do this. So as long as you believe that you can do it, take that goal that you have, write it down. Look at it and say, how could I set this bar higher? How could I 10x this goal? Write it below it. Acknowledge the difference. Acknowledge that you're capable of this, and plan out how are you going to achieve it. It's that simple, people. And that's a starting point for us to start living a better life, a more fulfilled life, a more successful life, where we are starting to realize what our true potential is and offering what we fully have to the rest of the world. All right. Well, guys, that is it for me today. I will be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. for the Striven Entrepreneur Show. Again, the Striven U Show is every day at 7 p.m. EST, and the Striven Entrepreneur Show is every Tuesday at 7 p.m. EST. So Mondays, Tuesdays, 7 p.m. EST, Facebook Live, me, you, strivenlife.com. I'm out of here. Have a good one.